sao bà?
Nhanh thôi con ạ.
Không.
So I got the Nikon 40mm f2 because I'm a lens whore or something and I can't stop buying lenses. This lens I think it's a high praised lens by the Nikon Z community in general, and it isn't hard to see why. It's a very cheap lens. It's like less than a Leica lens hood or something. It's pretty small and lightweight for an autofocus lens that goes down to f2, and its optical qualities are great. Last but not least, it has autofocus, which none of my manual lenses do obviously. Sometimes you just need it, like when you're holding a child with one hand. And what do you know, I went on a 3-day road trip with some family members and their children to relax on a disgusting beach like 300 kilometers away from Hanoi on the national holidays. And so I brought this lens along with the Nikon ZF. Why are the beaches disgusting now? Well, most beaches on the north of Vietnam just kinda are, you'll see. Anyways, I wasn't really planning to make this video, but I got some really nice photo on this trip, so might as well, I guess. And since I didn't plan for it, there just wasn't really a lot of footage. So enjoy my more or less slideshow of vacation photos, I guess. Like I imagine how people in the 80s entertain each other while I talk about this lens. It's kinda too bad that I don't have like a nice, rich, deep British voice. Would make some good ASMR content, I think. I mean, I guess AI can
turn my voice into anything these days.
But next thing you know, they're gonna take my job and I'm very scared of that. So let's get started. First, like 5 hours of slogging through national holiday traffic that you can skip through the power of video editing. Here's the recap anyways.
Oh, I know what we're doing! Road trip! That car looks like it's driving on the wrong side of the road.
Bim bip, bim bip, bim.
We took a break after the first leg of the drive to get on the boat tour in Chang'an to see the landscapes and some caves. And I took my first few real world shots with this lens. First impressions? Wow, these are some real nice photos. I was shooting most of these at f2 to counteract the motion blur from shooting while riding on a boat, and I'm glad I did so. Is there some 3D pop in this lens? I think so, yeah. This lens is pretty damn sharp even at f2. I can't even imagine that some people would think that this lens is not sharp enough, but I have definitely seen some of them in the wild. And trust me, you need to stay away from those people.
Mắt luôn nhá.
I never add any sharpness to my photos anymore. And on the contrary, I always add quite a bit of grain to soften it up and ease off that harsh digital look. And the photos still look very sharp to me anyways. The rendering is quite pleasing, I think. There's definitely some sauce in the images and I like it. Anyways, this river and these mountains claim to fame it's the location that the King Kong movies were shot in. I don't know, I never watched the damn thing. I have known that this location is quite beautiful for a long time, but I never seem to have the drive to come visit until recently. I got pretty heavily into some of these photos, as I'm rocking a single prime lens and I can't exactly zoom with my feet in this situation. You got to do what you got to do. Frankly, I never find resolution to be detrimental to my images. If I had to crop so much that the image become like a 2 megapixel piece of mess, then it probably just wasn't meant to be. Some of these shots on this river are so nice though. And shooting things further away at f2 make the subject pops nicely with that little bit of depth of field separation. So I'm really glad I did that. Afterwards, we had lunch and this vlog about drive continued. I was either driving or taking care of my nephews or wishing I was dead the whole time. But when it's my brother-in-law's turn to take the wheels, I managed to snap a few shots here and there out the window from the car. There's not really anything special to most of them, but these are nice photos for the memory, which is I guess half the reason we shoot photos anyways, right? And I want to give a shout out to this photo. It's just something different. I tried darkening the shutter by putting the shutter speed to 1/15th, and the motion blur makes the photos quite nice and abstract. It's not always my preferred way to shoot, but it's quite fun once in a while to try something different. And you know, I was kinda bored on the car, so I had to entertain myself somehow. We drove to Golden Hour, and then Blue Hour, and we finally got to hotel when everything is pitch black. And that was just it for today. I woke up early next morning for a walk on the beach to catch the sunrise. On my way out, I noticed this hallway was looking very The Shining-y, so I grabbed a shot. And well, I guess this is the distortion test, and you passed the test, buddy. Good job. Always seem to find beautiful photos on beaches, and I take all the opportunity I get, even if the beach water is utterly gross. Probably have shot this photo like a million times. Just a simple 3-layer burrito: sand, sea, and sky. And I'll gladly take a million more of them. Sometimes photography can be simple, you know. Not everything needs to be rocket science. In these photos, I went for a bit of a purple cyberpunk-ish palette. Those I like to do at this time of day. I think it goes very well with sunrise and sunsets. Just, you know, nudge the white balance towards the purple side a bit. It's the big trick here. I cropped this one photo to like 10,000% here, and it still looks very nice. It's like a dinky 6 megapixel file by the end. So that just goes to show you that megapixels is very overrated. Just upres if you want more resolution for printing. Otherwise, my philosophy is if it looks good on your screen, it will look good everywhere else. Maybe it's just me because I like a more abstract, painterly look anyways. I guess this photo is kind of a commentary on corporate greed and environment and such. But I haven't thought that far at the time. Most of these photos are shot at f8 because I don't really want to think about aperture and just want to point and shoot. And I guess in these situations, it might as well be any other lenses, right? Sometimes photography is just, the good old saying, f8 and be there. I guess it's a good segue to talk about the one flaw of this lens. There's no freaking aperture ring. Come on, Nikon. You were so close. I don't even care about the lack of aperture rings on other Nikon lenses. I just need it on this one single lens. Just make another version of this one.
So pretty please, with sugar on top.
After the sun fully rose up, I left the beach and walked a bit on the street on my way back to shoot some of these Vietnamese scenery. And that was it for the photography session. Afterwards, I was just kind of chilling on the pool with my family for the rest of the morning. And we drove to Vinh City to get lunch. And I got off a few shots here and there. Having autofocus is, as expected, quite nice in this situation that I have children in my care and I just want to grab a shot quickly. And for what it's worth, I think the autofocus of this lens is flawless. It never failed me once, so a 100% keeper is pretty good. That afternoon, we went out to chill on the seaside again. The light was gone very quickly though, and it left the landscape with this quite dreary mood. Frankly, I could get by with just the Nikon ZF and this 40mm kit lens forever. Obviously, I wouldn't, but I could. This was shot at f2, by the way. And I love how the 40mm focal length is just the exact right focal length for me to be able to capture these, it seems. I could never commit to just one lens really, but it's nice to daydream about that day when I become a minimalist and just focus on actually taking good photos. I mean, isn't this water just f***ing disgusting though? This kinda ruined the happy family vacation photos vibe a bit, I think. And there's also these freaking black particles all over the place. My theory is just all these constructions happening around the place kinda dump the residues onto the beach water, but who knows. It's definitely a sad side though. I didn't take many portraits on this trip, just didn't have the time really. But I did take this one shot of my wife in the elevator. And the reflected purple color from the screen is kinda cool. Oh, and here's a shot from the same hallways with my nephews running around. Yeah, definitely some shining vibes going on here. The next morning, I went on a stroll again with my wife. The weather was kinda dreary and the light was still not anything to write home about. But I saw this local guy bringing a bunch of good boys to the beach to shower them, I think, which is pretty cool. Speaking of weather, this lens is said to be a weather seal-ish. The plastic lens mount is definitely a downside, I think. A metal lens mount with some rubber seals would definitely inspire more confidence. But in real world shooting, I guess you just don't care about it most of the time anyways. It's definitely more weather seals than all my manual lenses, so at least I would be more confident in shooting this lens in the rain. Not that I would intentionally want to shoot in the rain anyways, because you know, my ass is not weather sealed. And that was it for this trip. We took another 10-hour drive back home and I let my brother-in-law drive for pretty much the whole ride back.
Don't slow down. You gotta turn in there, Walt.
So I could once again aim outside the window and continue my spraying and praying techniques. In conclusion, is the Nikon 40mm f2 daddy? I guess so, yeah. It's very sharp and well corrected, and the photos still have a nice pleasing look. I mean, these few both photos just go so hard in my opinion. It's also quite small and light for a pretty fast aperture at f2. I got quite a few keepers for this trip, which I think made me like this lens a little bit more. And this lens is like $200-300 or something. Depends on how good a deal you can find and whether you are getting the special version, and I guess whether you are buying used or not. Regardless, I think this lens is an amazing value proposition. I mean, you can even buy the Fujifilm APS-C as 27mm f2.8 for the same amount of money. And that lens is like a 40mm f14 or some shit in full frame equivalent. And so I think this lens is a no-brainer if you just want a lens to use on your Nikon Z cameras like the ZF. Especially for travel and just daily life photography, I guess. Fuck it, like just get one anyways if you are using the Z mount at all. It's what I did. Probably get the 28 too if you are into 28mm. I guess if you are a 35mm guy, then tough luck, but maybe Daddy Nikon will hear your prayers soon. Does this mean that I'm not gonna use my Voigtlander 40mm f1.2 anymore? Obviously not. It's just a different lens for different scenarios. And that's why you get into an interchangeable lens system anyways, right? So you can be indecisive and try out many different lenses just to realize that all you need is one lens anyways. And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching this information-packed review. I'm sure you'll have learned a lot. Subscribe to see more informative reviews like this, and I'll see you guys around.